Let's go ahead and dive right back on into a topic worth mentioning here at Michigan Storm Chasers. I'm Ryan. Welcome to the channel. If this is your first time watching, be sure to subscribe and hit the like button. Both those are free to do here on YouTube, and they help us out quite a bit in terms of the YouTube algorithm. We have two systems coming through. The first one coming in tonight. We'll talk about that one on a live stream a little bit later this morning. But this video is going to focus on another system that we're watching for the weekend, perhaps of more significance. Let's go ahead and dive in. I'll go ahead and run through the very basics of the short-term forecast and then go into the long-term. So with the short-term model here, walking you guys through today, which is Wednesday, February 5th, we're going to see our system to begin to develop out here to the south and west of us. We're going to pause it right here. This is 7 p.m. tonight. We're going to see some snow up here. We're going to see some freezing rain, sleet right here, and then rain further south towards the Ohio Valley River, or River Valley, should I say. As we move into the evening tonight, we're going to pause it right about here, which is 11 p.m. We're starting to see that mix move into the 94 corridor. That will continue to move east and north through the evening, overnight tonight into tomorrow. So walking you through here, this is midnight, 1 a.m., 2 a.m., 3 a.m., 4 a.m., 5 a.m., 6, 7 a.m., 8, 9, and by 10 or so in the morning come Thursday, we're looking at drier conditions across the state. Now, in terms of ice and snow impacts, very minor in nature. In terms of snowfall, anywhere from 2 to 4 inches up in the UP. Again, full forecast to come on this, so stay tuned for that. We're not going to dive too deep into this, just want to mention it as is worth mentioning. Then for ice impacts, winter weather advisories have been issued for the 94 corridor. So the bottom two rows of counties in Michigan, from Kalamazoo to Detroit to the borders of Indiana, Ohio, up to 1/10 of an inch of ice, which is 0.10, which is not enough for power outages, not enough for tree damage impacts, but is enough to make travel nice and slick for your Thursday commute. So if you are in far southern Michigan, keep that in mind if you're on the roads overnight tonight into Thursday morning. Freezing rain could reach as far north as the 96 corridor here, perhaps toward the Tri-Cities. It shouldn't be too big of a deal, pretty light in nature. Dry air should overcome this and help keep much of the impacts to a minimum. So that is what we're seeing. Again, full forecast to come. We'll get you guys updated with a second video or perhaps a live stream here this afternoon or later this morning. All right, let's move into the topic of discussion for this video. We have a secondary system that is looking to brush Michigan, or actually not brush, but we're going to say impact Michigan around the Saturday and Sunday time frame. This one appears to be of more significance. Let's go ahead and dive right back on in here to the European model. Our friend, the European, is fairly accurate, and we're going to show you guys this model today just because both the Euro, the GFS, and the Canadian model, which I'll show all three of them today, show the exact same thing happening. So here's our first system for Wednesday PM, Thursday AM. Nothing's changed. Mix further south, snow further north. Dry air is going to limit impacts. As we move into Friday, we're going to be dry for the most part, but then attention shifts Saturday morning to a system. Actually, we're going to call it two areas to watch here. We have our northern phase here. We have our southern phase down here. They're going to combine somewhere in the vicinity of Wisconsin, Illinois, Michigan, Indiana, somewhere around that vicinity. They're going to combine forces essentially, and it's going to cause a similar picture to be painted here with snow further north, a mix of sleet, freezing rain somewhere within this zone, and then further south where it's warmer will be rain. The European model, this is right here, 4 a.m. Saturday morning. We're going to move into the afternoon Saturday. We're going to pause it right about here. Our first snowflakes begin to fall for the UP, much of western lower Michigan, right around the noon time frame on Saturday. Again, give or take a few hours. This is not exact just yet. But around that Saturday noon time frame, expect precip to begin in Michigan here. As this moves into the afternoon, we're going to pause it right about here. We're going to notice something, some heavier snow here and darker blue showing up for a good chunk of the state. But also keep in mind, we have a freezing rain corridor that is in our southern zone of Michigan here. Move this into, this is 4 p.m. currently. Moving it into Saturday evening. Again, same thing applies here. Heavier snow along much of the lower peninsula, even parts of the UP as well. But notice further south here that freezing rain is in the bottom tier or 2 tiers of counties here in Michigan, according to the European. Is this going to be exact forecast? No. Shifts north or south are possible. Anything shifting south would be a more snowy solution for the state. Anything further north would bring the rain and freezing rain further north into the state, so a more of a mixed solution. We're going to watch this very carefully, okay? This is hour 90, aka Saturday PM, 7 p.m. should I say. Moving this into early Sunday morning. That snow begins to move out by 1 or so a.m., leaving us with just some snow showers by the time Sunday around sunrise comes around. So Saturday around noon to around Sunday around sunrise would be the time frame to watch for this system. We're going to back it up, though, and we're going to take a peek at where these models are placing this system. This is a European. This is typically the most accurate at this range in terms of model accuracy. Let's go ahead and take a peek at the GFS model. Same time frame, same system. This is what the GFS has. For the most part, it puts us all pretty much in a heavier snow band, and it does shift the mix of sleet and freezing rain literally just across the border towards Toledo and Fort Wayne areas. So that's going to be one to watch here very carefully, just a little bit further south than the European. And as far as the Canadian goes, the Canadian did a pretty good job with this last system. Let's go ahead and take a peek what that says. Here is a Canadian model, similar to the GFS, but a little bit further north there, where we have a sleet and freezing rain mixing in that bottom tier of counties there, but also notice the heavier snow swath is still showing up across much of lower Michigan. So what this basically is telling us here, somewhere, it appears at this point, somewhere in Michigan is going to get a good thumping of snow. If you're asking yourself how much, I think it's a little too early, but I will show you guys this screen right here. This is your total snowfall over the next couple of days here. So we're going to run through our first system, which is going to be Wednesday, Thursday event. We're going to get a good thumping. Not really. I use the word thumping as like a good solid snowfall. I'm not talking a major accumulation today. 2 to 5 or so across much of northern Michigan. This is your first system. Then as we move into the Saturday time frame, right about here, there's our system starting to dump some snow over here to our west, moving into our area here. Watch that carefully. We're going to continue, and it's going to move. There we go. There's your accumulations across Michigan there. And the model here is saying a good portion of Michigan may see upwards of 6+ inches, perhaps more than that. So that is one model, European. Comparing it to the GFS and Canadian, here's a GFS, a little bit more muted in its terms of the amounts, but still a good 6 inches at least at this point, we would say, would be a good probability. And then the Canadian as well, similar to the GFS, it is showing anywhere from 6, 7, 8 inches of snow here. So this is going to shift. This is not a forecast just yet. A lot of variables go into this, but just keep in mind when it comes to Saturday's system, we could be looking at a good solid snowfall across much of the state. Areas further south do have higher potential for mixing, but again, if we can get a very good southward jog with this system, that means all snow for the entire state. So cross your fingers for snow lovers. This could be our first bigger synoptic system here. We'll keep an eye on it, and we'll keep you guys updated as we get closer. With that being said, I'm Ryan. Thank you for watching. We'll keep you guys updated. Stay tuned to the page for either a second video or a live stream for this system coming up this evening into tomorrow morning. We'll get you guys up to speed with our latest forecast package for that. Before I hop out of here, let's shout out to the day's sponsor. Up above my head there, you're going to see Pro Powder 269-637-8722. They are based out of South Haven, and they cover all of your powder coating needs. So if you happen to be in the industry, give them a call. Thank you, Pro Powder, for sponsoring today's video. And with that being said, I will catch you guys later today for, again, a live stream and or a second video focused on Wednesday, Thursday impacts with this first system.